Okay, let's put the things in context here. What were the dominant themes for the week gone by? FI selling and FI selling and FI selling. Why are they selling and how much more they will sell and what effect that would have on the market? That in a sense was the most important narrative which occupied all the center stage. Unfortunately, the news from that front is not great. FI selling or election anxiety or maybe a combination of both, that led to a spike in volatility. So you can see that last week the other standout movement in VIX, which otherwise has been moving higher, that also in a sense was not really helping the market. And then you actually saw a massive underperformance in the small and the mid cap index. So if I have to weave all the three things together, FI selling, underperformance in small and mid cap stocks, and there was a very large amount of uptick in volatility. That is how things were stacked up. This week, could it be different? Is the worst behind us? Is it time to really buy into the market? And is it time now to really look at stocks on an individual basis? So Nisha, there are few things which you know were stretched and there are few things you can't predict. Nobody can predict, Anisha, what will happen to FI selling. Is it the China factor? Is it numbness ahead of the election? Or is it pure profit booking? Nobody knows. So you can't predict what you can't predict. However, I genuinely feel that the nervousness or the anxiety in the market, which was there largely because of the election cycle, I think that should settle. And that is something which could lead to a drop in volatility and perhaps a comeback in small and mid cap stocks. For the week, I would say that you should play for the bounce. Markets are looking oversold. VIX is looking extended and the global cues are strong and supportive. So in the near term, it appears to me that you need to now play for a bounce rather than chase the momentum on the downside. The risk reward ratio for this week is not in favor of going short. It is not in favor of raising cash. It is in favor of putting money to work, covering your short positions or creating some longs.
Okay, so that's the clear view coming in. Play for a bounce because the risks are more evenly skewed this week and they are more skewed towards the favorable side. But yes, political uncertainty was something that was clearly gathering a lot of mind space in the week gone by. And now we today have kickstarted the fourth phase of the elections as well. Of course, voting for the fourth phase of Lok Sabha has begun. A total of 96 seats across 9 states and 1 union territory are in the poll fray today. Key state to watch would be Andhra Pradesh, wherein all 25 Lok Sabha constituencies as well as 175 assembly seats are going to the polls today. Neighbouring Telangana, polling is taking place in 17 seats, but all eyes are on Hyderabad, which will witness a much anticipated poll battle between AIMI President Asauddin Owaisi as well as BJP's Madhavi Lata. Other key states to watch are West Bengal, where 8 seats are up for grabs in Maharashtra. Voting is taking place across 11 seats here. And in the electorally crucial state of Uttar Pradesh, a total of 13 seats are going to polls today. So clearly a very important polling phase, and let's see what comes out of that, because for now we have seen that the voter turnout has been increasing in every phase. Does that trend continue, and what does the opinion poll suggest something to watch out for? But that's about polls as well. Nikunj, do you think that kind of uncertainty is out of the picture as well? Over the weekend, of course, there were many comments coming in regarding the age of 75 years, the fresh updates coming in as far as seat expectations are concerned.
Nisha, whatever we would discuss, we would debate, and whatever markets currently you would be talking about, there would be an element of curiosity, there would be an element of anxiety, and there would be an element of khuspus in the market ahead of the election cycle. So needless to say, it really does not matter. The full and the final picture will only emerge in first week of June on the day of counting, or when the exit polls, they actually come once the last phase of the market is over. From a market standpoint, what made the market nervous was the fact that in the first 2 phases, the voter turnout was not great. Considering the fact that today's round is largely in Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, it is believed from a market standpoint that if the voter turnout is strong, then that in a sense is good for the current administration or for the current ruling party. Is that the only way and the most scientific way of judging which way things would move? Certainly not. But markets are markets. Markets will like to look at every data point and then assume, and then they would magnify it. That's the way how things are. So from a market standpoint, this phase of polling is crucial, and the only number which you get is the voter turnout. And there is a view in the market that if the voter turnout is good, it is good for the current ruling party. So that's the way market would react. Now, is this the most scientific way of reacting? Of course not. Of course not. I mean, how can you say that voter turnout means it's good or bad? But that's how markets are accustomed to look at the data point, and that is what they would do today also.
Okay, and coming out of an excruciatingly volatile week, the question is, where is it that we head this week? While, of course, you've got a lot of numbers, and today as well, you'll have Zomato, which has been a market darling that report its numbers. But for the week as well, you'll have JSW Steel, M&M, etc. report their numbers as well. And, of course, Bharti too on 14th, which is tomorrow. But yeah, in terms of cues and what we have to work with as blocks, I guess nothing changes.
See, Zomato numbers from a market curiosity becomes very important, because there's been like this rara stock which has gone from same time, a year ago, from 80-90 rupees to 200, I saw on Friday. So that from a market curiosity becomes the go-to stock, and considering that what we've got from PB Fintech and other fintech companies, the number I expect it to be strong. Second, you don't have any large market moving number with the exception of Bharti. You've already heard from Jio, and post Vodafone, FPO success, everybody is in a sense certain that things on that front also will be strong. Then middle of the week, you have the CPI data, and the Fed, in a sense, has already hinted that they don't think the inflation concerns are over, but they feel that in the near term, inflation is unlikely to also trouble global financial markets and the Fed. So any positive on the CPI front could also spiral or spike up the global markets. So nothing big in terms of a market moving event. It would be technicals, it would be politics. To some extent, maybe Zomato number if you are looking at an individual stock, Bharti number if you're looking at a large cap company. No large major listings this week, 350 Nifty 50 companies. And then let's not forget, 18th is not chutti.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.